If it wasn't obvious 5 years ago, it is most certainly now. The world is in need of true health. I would even say a stubborn vitality virus that spreads rapidly and touches everyone. Why? Just look around you and see. How many people do you personally know that are reflecting and embodying true health? How many people in your direct circle come consistently across as restful, as energetic, as focused, purposeful, connected, as in touch with their body and essence? How many are experiencing high degrees of physical freedom that allow them to live life to its fullest? The odds are high that your answer is not many. See, I consider true health and ultimate well-being to be a combination of these and other qualities, not merely an absence of sickness. Yet, and unfortunately, disease has become the norm. Prevalence numbers of obesity, related welfare illnesses, chronic stress, depression, ongoing anxiety, and increasing healthcare costs worldwide reflect this plainly, and these are only predicted to rise in the decades ahead. Connect this to the current COVID pandemic and you will see that over 90% of people hospitalized because of COVID has another underlying medical condition. This is also known as comorbidity. Over 80% has 3 or more such underlying conditions. Now this should not come as a surprise. Why? Well, let's be honest here. How much of the things that you learn in primary and high school are helping you today to move towards true health, self-actualization, and ultimate well-being? I bet you cannot list 5 teachings. Now this might sound funny, but it's not. I consider it to be sad that traditional education has not even dedicated a single curriculum around how to nourish our body, mind, and spirit in a sustainable, constructive fashion. Not a single course on how to nurture and facilitate true health, on how to make ourselves resilient to the unexpected waves of life, on how to become connected and thriving human beings who use their resources wisely and are considering themselves to be part of nature instead of above, part of an interconnected bigger picture. And here we are, 2 years into the pandemic now. Considering the absence of effective lifestyle strategies being shared by governmental bodies through mainstream media, I can only conclude the following. Facilitating true health and emphasizing prevention isn't really a priority within the current paradigm and system. Almost all endeavors and resources are directed towards curative care. I noticed this quite early after my academic years, and this happened to be the main reason why I didn't have any authentic drive when working for a department of the Dutch Ministry of Public Health in the Dutch Caribbean. So back to the current pandemic. Several of the so-called safety measures that are being imposed are not actually enhancing true health. On the contrary, they are decreasing vitality, suppressing immunity, and making us prone to infection and sickness. Now, what do most of these measures have in common? They are reactive by nature and merely focusing on aspects outside of ourselves. In the long run, this will only increase the underlying problem and inhibit freedom. As it becomes clearer by the day, we cannot jab ourselves out of this crisis. Whether you are vaccinated or not, the only way out is by going in. In other words, we must start to build internal resilience and enhancing our vitality from within for true health to unfold. It's nothing less than an illusion if we think that the COVID pandemic, the underlying health crisis, and even increasing polarization will end if we just keep repeating what we've been doing. So yes, we must regain our focus, become ruthless to distraction, and start doing what's needed to break our conditioning. Only if we break our conditioning can we possibly change our life conditions. It all starts with seeing clearly and mindfully that our modern environment completely mismatches our biogenetical needs and confuses our primal brain. Seeing that the ongoing exposure to comfort, addiction to convenience, and pleasure weakens us day in and day out. And as we can see now, weak people create difficult times. This is not a judgment, but rather a karmic consequence. So yes, we need collective transformation. And since the collective or total is a sum of many, transformation needs to start on an individual level. We all must take responsibility and once again step behind the steering wheel of life. This means that the current normal, which leads to dis-ease and disconnection, needs to become the exemption. And the exemption needs to become the new normal for this to happen. But how, you might wonder? It is essential to recognize that there is no single one strategy, practice, tool, or domain that will induce this. that there is no single one strategy or practice which is the holy grail. Moving towards true health and ultimate well-being requires a multidimensional integral approach, rather than a fragmented one-dimensional one as is often portrayed. It requires you to become aware of, learn and ingrain multiple strategies that you need to be able to utilize with sensitivity to context and the changing nature of human life. Now this might sound overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it all out yourself. My partner Sarah Sati and I have dedicated our lives to exploring, researching and transmitting our findings in order to support individuals and communities to move towards ultimate well-being and thrive authentically. From now onwards, we are going to intensify our efforts by making short videos in which we elaborate on strategies that we consider essential ingraining into your life to induce true health. We will also dive into qualities that reflect true health and ultimate well-being. So if you watch this video until the end, you can consider yourself to be a renegade spirit. You are heading into the right direction. Stay on track and I will see you in the next video. My name is Niko Sati Nikolić, health and performance scientist, private coach and co-founder of the Mindful Island Academy.